So what you see right now is a portrait of me starting today. I will be following through a whole entire week of myself and comparing them to how I do within a week span. So following this that I have now, I want to be able to paint something that I have imagined. I forgot exactly what YouTuber it was. So this is Josh Sorrell. As you can see, his art is just absolutely beautiful. It's like entering into different realms, plays with lighting. I love how it's very simple yet just captivating at the same time. So I wanted to recreate something like this a bit in my own style. This is something I first created digitally that made me want to be able to pick up oil paint. I thought it was so cool to be able to make something that looks like this, so dreamlike, and there's so much more meaning to this entire portrait that I had made. Thank you, Josh Sorrell, for giving me such an inspiration. I think now would be a great time for me to talk about personal identity, along with anything mental health wise. I'm currently on a big process of really figuring myself out more than I have ever had. Just a little look into my life. I am currently seeing 2 therapists, one for mentor reasons and just guidance on life and how to really go on further. Not saying that I'm having to think that there's nothing else to do in life. It's just nice to be able to have someone in my life guide me to be able to make my own decisions, right? Like, I'm making my own decisions in the way I want to, but I have someone being able to show me that, guiding me to be able to go to the water. And then it's my decision for what cup I want to be able to put it in, right? Put that water in, and then I drink it. So I make my own decision, they guide me there. The other therapist is for coping skills, coping mechanisms. I am a huge germaphobe, and recently I have diagnosed that through OCD. My OCD gets bad because I overthink about just the germs on the microscopic level of what I'm about to touch and how I would need to always wash my hands. So I struggle with a bunch of germs. I think about outside clothes, not touching a lot of things in my room because I want my room to be constantly clean. I think of my bed as a sanctuary, so I don't even sit on it with any outside clothes. And the only time I ever sit on it is either with PJs or very, very clean clothes that I know are clean. I don't even sit in my desk chair with outside clothes because I think about how I need to be able to sit on it with clean clothes to be able to work through my day. So I'm going through a big struggle between life, I don't want to say problems in my life, but the constant worries that I have. I used to deal a lot with anxiety, and currently I am doing my best to figure that out, and along with depression. I found art to be a great escape from daily reality and being able to just submerge myself into something that's beautiful, it's calming, it's relaxing, even though it is pretty difficult. It's almost like video games, but I make my own objective, I make my own goals, and I figure my way to accomplish them. Now that I have basically everything, just want to roll this kneadable eraser and just, no, maybe not there. Just take off as much as I possibly can without losing my details. I had not tried my brushes. Started just putting paint down because I stopped really caring who's watching, because I'm enjoying myself. I'm just enjoying the paint that's in front of me and just putting it down. I figure I'll show you guys what my palette is becoming. I want to make 3 shades of white to gray. It's a pretty big jump from here to here, and so is there to there. From here to here is pretty same. Before I start painting, this will be my lightest white, my darkest dark for this gray palette, white to gray palette. This is my lightest blue and my darkest blue. Technically, I guess white would also be the lightest for the white palette as well. I plan on approaching this, just block in a lot of my midtones for both blue and gray, and then lay over some shadows in blue and gray, and kind of just work it. I kind of plan to have half of the face be blue, half of the face to be white. If we do blue here, probably D, and I kind of just want to be able to blue this face. So here to here is blue, here to here is white, but it won't add too much contrast, so I think here to here would be blue, right? Kind of meet them here, this shadow that I have going on here, and then white. Yeah, that'll look good. It's been taking a long time to be able to rewire my brain to be able to think that way. I was so addicted to video games. I was so addicted to sitting at my desk and just playing games all night. I always wanted to sleep in, and I always thought about how I don't even get the amount of sleep that I want to get in. Sometimes I used to want to sleep in till 11 a.m. and then get out of bed around 12. But now I just see that there's so much more to do in my day. Currently now, I try not to waste my time on thinking about those things. I try my best to get out of bed as soon as possible and start my day. Start my day by either painting, start my day by going onto my desk and playing a little bit of some video games and controlling myself, but doing my best to be active. I deleted all of social media. I go through YouTube Shorts occasionally, and yes, okay, I do have Instagram, but I only open it to follow some of the artists there. But ever since deleting social media, I have found myself more. I have less anxiety about myself and needing to be somewhere in my life right now. However, I do feel as though there's a disconnect to culture. That feels like a disconnect from culture because I'm not following trends, which is stupid, right? Like just a few years ago, we never really had this. And sure, COVID probably was a big part into why we're acting this way or who we are now. So I had just that thought to just get off of this, be myself. And I came to that conclusion a little bit after my first therapist. She understood what it was to be in the industry that I am in now, and very much reassured me that being 26 and not being where all these popular, famous people are at is perfectly fine too. So I found a lot of myself recently, and I wanted to be able to share that through art and show you guys what I've been doing through art. Finding myself, how I look at myself, how I talk to myself, and understanding that I am me. This life that I live for is my own, and no one can take that away, and no one can change the way I do my life. To add on top of all of this, you'll see near the end the small text that I put. That's how conscious I am about who I am as a person and what I even think about, how I think about what happens after all of this and what was really the meaning of all of this. And that is very apparent in my work. And I'm even learning about that now. Whenever I'm talking to myself and whenever I feel like I need to put text down onto what I paint or draw, it's as if a conversation to my own self. It's so much that goes through my mind that I'm so conscious of who I am and conscious of what I do. And before a therapist, I always suppressed myself because of how odd and weird I thought I was. Now that I'm finding myself now, I'm conscious of, oh, I think this is weird, but I'm still gonna do something. I'm still gonna enjoy it because that's what I think I want to do and what I feel is right. There's so many other topics on top of that, but if you guys would like to hear more about how I see life and how I go through my life, let me know in the comments below what questions you might have. Kind of looks a little scary. Finally adding in the darks of the gray. It might ruin this right here, but it's worth it for the likeliness. It's worth it. Nope, I don't hate myself. It looks absolutely amazing. My forehead looks tall, even though I think I have been painting to proportion. This shadow, this needs to be shadowed more, right? Maybe I could just clean that up. I like it a lot. Wow, Also, I want to be able to make this video and the rest of my videos a discussion. How are you going through life? What are you having to struggle with? And how you're finding ways to be able to cope with everyday life. So leave questions down below, leave suggestions and questions of what you might have. You never know who is going through the same things as you are. So this time I'm just kind of shooting stuff at it. There's a lot of things that I see that could be fixed. My lip is just a little too large up there. Shadowing. Face feels chubby here. It's a little bit more perked up because of this highlight. I wonder if I just shadowed it. I love how this is receding. How somehow the circulation of what I was doing made it look like there's an eyeball. Hair's not too bad. It is currently 12:45. What was that, an hour and a half? A lot of it also took of mixing paint, but that was really fun. I think the parts that I had fun with the most was just blending everything / softening the edges of everything. What's kind of cool is that you have to look at it a little bit deeper and then you could see the neck kind of recede, come down. As I was making this, it reminded me of feeling like I ghosted myself or something that just continued to fade into a different dimension. So I was thinking, was I even real? Pretty cool thing to think about. I wish that I didn't soften this too much and kept it straight, because now it's just very flat. Love the hair, love how I made highlights. Forehead still feels big. I think it's just because I added too much on top. I gotta be done. This is it, what I have. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more.